TraderInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
All right, everybody, I'm back. Welcome to another episode of the Baby Powder Report, reporting in from Bangkok, Thailand. This is Julian with another exciting episode. But the question is, what am I going to talk about today other than the stock market and Bitcoin and maybe some fitness stuff? We had a very interesting conversation about peptides last time. If you didn't watch the Afterparty, I highly suggest last week's Afterparty if you're interested in peptides. Maybe you'll find out some interesting information. Today's episode, I think we're going to talk about the market, obviously, S&P 500. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, crypto, got to talk about that. The breadth, by the way, continues to outperform. No crazy trade signals lately in the past week and a half, I think. However, we have we are waiting for a signal. It should come soon. Generally, the breadth switches signals once every 2 weeks. So there should be a possible signal coming soon, and there are some indications that things are turning around. So let's see. Let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look, and we will go from there. Okay, I'm gonna shrink myself as usual. You guys don't need to see my face. By the way, don't forget to ask questions. If you have questions, something you're interested in, just tell me and I can take a look at it. I think it's more fun when you guys are interactive. All right, media source. Let's get rid of it. All right, let's go and look at what is something I always like to start with. One of the best things is looking at options expiry. Extremely important, options expiry. Why is it loading a separate window? S&P. Okay, I don't know what that's loading. So here we've got max pain at basically 446, and yet the market is sitting where? All right, go to the trading view here, and the market, S&P 500. I don't even have the S&P. We're going to talk about the dollar, by the way. I know the dollar has done a complete nosedive. 45.01, but max pain, the market literally has to stop here. Otherwise, we are hitting right here this max pain level where there are a lot of calls. So don't, if and it's also a BFRN, right? So going into, by the way, I want to close. I'm not gonna bring that up. It's like sensitive, people sensitive information. We want to, you know what? I'm gonna hide my screen 1 second, and then I'm gonna delete this just because I wanna get that information off. So one second, everybody. Just close all of this. All right, that way I won't accidentally click it, and people won't get mad at me. All right, back with our screen. There we go. So as I was saying, 4,500 BFRN. Definitely look for some resistance up here. I don't see anything to tell me that the market should stop heading higher. There's nothing. I mean, if I look at a 1 hour, 2 hour, nothing's showing up. Other than on the 12, we've got a 7, but really everything else points to straight higher. I mean, we do have an 8, 9 on the 8 hour, but sometimes that's not a huge time frame. I would say 4 hour and daily are the most important time frames. Oh, hello everybody. I see people talking now. Hello, Hafed. Hello, hello, Richard. Hello, Mr. Beamish. You are not an idiot. You're not. Everyone, to be fair, everyone is an idiot sometimes. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this at some point in their life has looked at themselves in the mirror and said, I am an idiot. I know I've done that. You guys, I'm sure everyone has done it. I can't be the only one. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. And hello if you're new. Hello, Halim. I'll put a little 100 and a heart for myself. Okay, so 4,500 is where we're at. BFRN hit new highs. My parallel channel points to actually 45.80 being the resistance area. However, because of this OPEX expiry, you have to be careful going into Friday. There's no reason why they can't push the market back down to at least make sure that these calls expire worthless. I just don't have any indication of it right now, so I'm not taking any shorts, and I'm not suggesting you take a short. Because right now it's full on bull mode. This daily chart is extremely bullish. There's no breakdown here yet, right? Like this, right? This is our daily chart. I talked about this last week and the week before. No breakdown, no breakdown. We did have a divergence developing last week, but this market does not want to die, so we broke through that divergence. So you see the original divergence, price made a higher high, RSI made a lower low, same with stochastic, but the market didn't care at all, just continued higher. And that can happen. Things don't always work. We also had this ABCD that completed up here, and the market again just continued higher. So interesting to see that we are going up nonstop. I'm not taking any short trades until this RSI breaks down, at least on a daily chart, and then I can start hunting for something. So I'm gonna do that. Set that alert for myself. What can I say in the short term? Where are we going? Well, let's look at the price action that happened down here. Actually, let's look at a weekly chart. Let's go to a full screen view, and let's take a full. So 4.669 was up here, by the way. That's why we sat there for a while. But if we look at our fib levels, what do fibs tell us here on these higher time frames? So your next fib level is at the 78.6 retracement, which is, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. No, I think we should go with the highest wick and the lowest tail here. So 4,530 is your 78.6 level. That's going to be a big level. And then we've got levels. This 4,594 level takes out everything here. We also got a level here, but this would be a big level I'm looking at right there. Let me add in the 88. I want to add in 88.6 level. I don't know why it's not showing on this, but we want to keep an eye on that 88.6 level. That's often a big level. So there's no reason why the market can't tag the 78.6. Okay, that's normally in a range, which we could consider this a big range. You would short. First, you'd start considering shorts at 61.8. And then above that, the big short area is right here. This is the big short area, 78.6, between 78.6 and 88.6. And you get stopped out of your short if you surpass the previous highs. That's all it is. It's that simple. If we consider the entire past year and a half to 2 years almost a big range. So that's what I'm watching for. We're just gonna put a big red box, and we're gonna watch that every week. We're gonna look at this box right here, just like that. This is basically our short zone. Let's see if the market can come up here into our short zone. But again, nothing's going to happen until I see a breakdown here. And there is no breakdown yet. Weekly looks very strong still. You can see my background trend signal indicator. Background trend signal indicator has not been bearish since March. It stopped being bearish in the end of March, and it's been bullish ever since then. We do have a 9 on the weekly chart. Very interesting. Something to keep an eye on. This is a big signal. You can see last time this came in 9, we topped out, rolled over. 9. Actually, this one didn't work. This one rolled over. This one rolled over. This one we rallied another 2 weeks and then we rolled over. Let's go back. This one didn't matter. 7s rolled over. 9 rolled over a little bit, continued higher. So you can see a lot of times, actually, it didn't matter as much as I thought it would have. So maybe take this one with a grain of salt. It seems like Tom DeMark, 7, 8, and 9, they are very good signals. But sometimes, from what I can see from the history on the S&P, that they don't matter that much. Maybe they work 50% of the time. So I'm not going to put too much emphasis on this signal. Okay. So let's see on the lower time frames. Yeah, look how strong this 4 hour is. 15 minute, 30 minute. Oh, it's just up only. I wouldn't short this, even with what I'm seeing in the options market where it kind of needs to be pushed back down. I would not short this. Notice how, by the way, on the 30 minute, we keep tagging my 21 EMA. Look at how it price just comes back, tags 21. Takes off, comes back, tags it, continues higher, tags it, continues higher. Sometimes it goes to the 50 EMA. You can see how well this works though in a trend, and as soon as the trend ends, you know, you come down to this 50 and you tag in. You can keep bouncing until finally you pass through both of them, and then it just dumps. So kind of interesting to watch these two from a trading perspective. And you can see how price touches right here on the 1 hour 50 EMA 21, and then once it reverses, it just dumps. It's not a bad series of EMAs to include in your chart. I'm gonna take off the background signal, trend signal, because I think it makes the charts difficult to read. We're going to look at right here this parallel channel uptrend, and the top of it right here is, if we go out to August, I mean, we could be all the way up here at 46. When can we hit 88.6? When is the earliest? The end of August. I mean, it's possible that this is like a new, if I go to a 3-day chart, it's easier to see. This is a new ABCD pattern. So this is the first one, and there's the second. And you can see how the second leads you right up to 4,681, which is your 88.6 level. I mean, there's potential for us to go to that. I think it will hurt a lot of people who are shorting, and there's no indication I'm seeing at any point that this rally is going to stop yet. I don't see anything. CPI just came in very low. The market has a great excuse to rally. PPI also came in low. A lot of excuses to rally here. Yeah, I think yeah, this is pretty crazy, but at the same time not really surprising, because I think everyone was too bearish, including myself. So the market did the opposite. But with interest rates being as high as they are, I don't see how this is sustainable. It usually isn't. There has to be some kind of big reversal, but that's not going to happen until after the Fed 100% stops pausing rates, and then even starts reversing the I saw a chart today where, damn, let me see if I can pull it up. I should have saved this for you guys. I'll post it in my signal room later. We're going to talk about some of my trades, by the way, because we've had some nice home run trades. But I will post in my signal room later this chart that shows the average amount of time that it takes after the Fed stops pausing for the market to finally decline. Plus, we need unemployment to start spiking. And that hasn't really happened to a huge degree yet. We saw a minor increase, and then we saw a big increase in employment. So, you know, there's no clear trend yet. But once we see that clear unemployment trend increasing, then we can start to look for market declines. Not before that. I mean, that's from a fundamental perspective. Obviously, we need to see the charts too. I want to see a breakdown in RSI on like a 3-day chart. I'm also looking at the same thing on something like Nvidia. Yes, Dennis, we will get to that. I just want to finish a couple of these. So on Nvidia, on a 3-day chart, we did have a slight fake out breakdown like this. See that? This is almost no breakdown at all. It was just tagging this line. And it's still heading higher. And that's why I still haven't shorted it. So that's a big thing. Yeah, so that's Nvidia. Don't touch it yet. Don't short it. Keep your eye on RSI breakdown. That's what I'm watching. As soon as this happens, I will be posting about it also in my room. US dollar. Let's take a quick look at the US dollar. It's absolutely fallen off a cliff here, which gives everything a reason to rally. Crypto, stocks, gold. This is your breakdown on your weekly chart, where we're kind of just tagging the underside of this line. US dollar doesn't really have any, delete some of this stuff, any support here until all the way until this was a big trend line that I wanted to keep. You see how we broke down quickly from that trend line. We have weekly 200 EMA, 200 moving average here. And we have the support on this uptrending parallel channel that we've had for a very long time. See this uptrending parallel channel. So long-term channel, we did break below it briefly at one point, but mostly it's been a consistent channel. So major support at 97 and another major support at 95.5. But interesting to see this major breakdown. And we could even say there's like an ABCD here, but I think that's going to take us way below what I'm looking for. Yeah, it would take us way down to this 93 level, which is a major level. So 93 is my huge yellow line in the sand, and it's looking like that's where the dollar could go to. And that lines up with what I'm seeing with gold. All right, so, oops, what happened here? XAUUSD. Okay, gold just bounced off on a 2-week chart. It's VIP line, and also on the weekly. You can see it reversing. It had an 8 on the weekly. And we've got a 3-day and a daily. And the daily is the big one, right? Massive breakout. I posted about my gold long at $19.10. And now we're at $19.52. Although, for full transparency, I did close almost all of my position at $19.35 right before the CPI report. I closed 50% when we were at $19.40. And then I closed the other 50% at $19.35, 36 right before the CPI report came out because I didn't want to deal with the volatility. It was a very high leverage position. I wanted to take my profits. Had a huge push higher, and I will post if I re-enter a long. I want to get back in the long side. This is very bullish right now for gold. However, to be completely transparent, there is major resistance at this previous parallel channel here. You can see how this worked in the past, and we've got a major resistance up here. However, if we look at, and you see how I have these red lines that are showing different major levels, we can consider that this is a chaos level, and our 1.618 level is right up. If we take this as the full W area, we're in this 1.618 level right here. And our next zone is up here at 2.618, 1990, and our final at 4.669, all the way at the previous highs, 2058. So for now, I'm extremely bullish on gold, and I'm watching to re-enter on long positions. So just looking on these lower time frame charts. Gold is going to do its best to run stops before it continues higher. So if you're in a long position, just be careful. We did hit a 9 on the 4-hour here. So you know, that you could get a bit of a reversal. I don't see why that's not possible. And a pullback down into this 1940 area. We could actually look here with fibs. Where's your 38.2? And reverse this. Yeah, so 38.2 is down here at 1937. I think you won't get that low. You'll probably get to like 1940, 1942. That's an area where I'm definitely looking to consider re-entering on this gold trade. I'd like to see a nice healthy pullback, and then I can get into a long and ride it higher. I would consider this wave 1 of a 5-wave series. So this is wave 1, and we should get a wave 2 pullback, and then we get our big wave 3, which should push us. So let me show you what I mean when I'm talking about these waves. If this is wave 1, wave 2 should retrace to somewhere around here, this 1938, 1940 area. And then wave 3 should make a huge move all the way up to maybe even 2050. Okay, and then you get your pullback to probably somewhere in this area, 2000 would make sense. And then you get your final move, which is right above these previous highs. Something like that is what I'm kind of targeting for this gold move. Obviously, it's very early in the wave cycle. So high potential for me to be wrong here, but that's kind of what I'm seeing, at least in the short term. There should be I'm looking for a pullback to jump into a long, and then we should theoretically get that wave 3, assuming this is the start of a 5-wave series. All right, so that's gold. Hopefully that gives you some insight on it. I just had to talk about it because we had a big breakout on the daily chart, and I wanted to continue, especially since I've been posting a lot about that trade. Yeah, XRP news. So it's not a security. I haven't read about XRP. I can look at the chart, but I haven't actually read about the news because I don't think the news matters that much. I think a lot of people probably already knew about this news, and there were probably some big bullish signals on the chart. Yeah, so if we go to like a 2-week chart, right? I mean, this was right here. This was your reversal zone right here. So you would have wanted to have started getting long right down here in this area after this breakout and then this W. So the question now is, now that the news is out, the question is not should you buy XRP? The question is where should you sell? Because this was a big news event and it pumped. So now you've got to wonder, okay, when do I sell? And it looks like, to me, the chaos level sell target is 0.7330. Assuming it can go higher than that, let's say that this was your big range right here. Then you just barely tag that 1.618 level, and you can go all the way up to 125, which is your previous highs. So a couple things to keep in mind. But a safer one, I would say, would be going off this W here, this area, and targeting. Yeah, I like this W. Assuming this breaks out, this is a perfect W right here. Okay, and there's your breakout. And you can target here, play in this zone before you finally push up to this area, and then that's kind of your topping pattern. Unless it's in an extremely bullish state, then it can move higher. That's what I'm seeing with XRP, but be careful entering up here. You can get a bit of a pullback. I'm gonna get rid of this from the chart. Go to like a daily time frame. Yeah, so daily, right? You would have done something like this. On the daily, there was really no way to see this. I think you would have had to have been long and watching a weekly chart. Any other chart would not have been clear. You would have had to have been long from down here. And the long from down here with the confirmed W is only pointing to .8, this area. Which also, oh, no, not 0.8. Let me fix that. 0.75, which also makes sense. This is a major resistance zone. I mean, look at this, all these previous wicks. So something like somewhere in this area would make sense from a selling perspective. But if we go to the lower time frames, you have that target all the way up to, I'm actually going to delete this, leave that red line, and let's go to a slightly lower time frame. And let's look at the W plus the breakout. So here's your nice W pattern and breakout. This, right? So that's a conservative move. And where does it target? So 3.59 and 3 are in this whole zone, and 2.618, or you could definitely run into some resistance. And then 4.669 is kind of right above that. If you extend this, you can get to 0.98, but I like to always err on the safe side. And my final sell level would be at about 90 cents up here, which could just about where you take out the highs. I think that would make sense. Okay, that's XRP. Hopefully you guys are happy I talked about it. I just saw, what are your moving averages? The blue one is 21 EMA. The pink one is 50 EMA. The white one is a 200 SMA. So hopefully that clears that up. And then there's a white one in the middle, this small one. This is based on a special trend indicator that helps tell me, are we in a bull or a bear trend, or are we kind of ranging? Hopefully that helps. Yeah, okay. So XRP, let's look at total crypto market cap. Weekly. So total is looking decent. On a weekly, you had the big breakout, right? And now we've got our bullish move higher. And we've just been slowly moving higher. Here, I go to a 3-day. I do have a 9 that's come in recently on the 3-day, but stochastic RSI is very bullish. You can see here also, this is your RSI breakout right here. And now we're kind of just oscillating in this zone, but it's above the VIP line, which is a big bullish signal. 8 hour on this dollar breakdown. The 8 hour is looking very bullish on this breakout higher. I want to see a clear move higher to kind of confirm this. But if it does confirm, I mean, our obvious ABCD target is 1.3 trillion, which is an increase from here of 10%. Not bad, another 10%. So that's how much Bitcoin could possibly go up. Maybe we look at total 3. I know people are probably interested in alts. Yeah, so alts really took off here. Looking very bullish on stochastic up down here. Not enough data on this 3-day. Big breakout, but not a clean break at all. Not like stocks, and definitely not like the higher crap coins. But you can see I've been tracking this line, and we broke out on the other side. We retested it right here, and this was basically your long opportunity right there. And now we're pushing higher, and I would like to see a big push higher from this breakout. We can look at Bitcoin. See what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hasn't really done much. It's kind of just sitting up here, right? But I can't really get too bearish on Bitcoin until I start seeing these indicators roll over. Stochastic RSI is super bullish. Weekly chart still semi bullish, still sitting up here. If there was a VIP line, we would see that we'd be above the VIP line. On the 3-day, the stochastic RSI is very bullish. On a daily, we did get a pullback, but the daily is still above that 50 level. As long as it's above that 50 level, Bitcoin is not going to necessarily fall off a cliff. It's just not. I don't see it happening. However, if we look at this as a 5-wave series, and this is wave 1, this is wave 2 pullback, this is your big wave 3, this is wave 4, which often looks like this, and then this is wave 5. Then this is the topping zone. So that's also something to be slightly concerned about and watching for. Is this the topping zone? It looks like a pretty nice 5 up wave series. I would have liked to have seen the 5th wave go a little bit higher, and it could still potentially. Like if this is your 5th wave, and it should match, it could still go to 30, 32, 33. We never took out these previous highs. So I'd like to see us take that out and run into the resistance up here at 33 to 35 area. And from what I can see on the higher time frame charts, there's no reason why that couldn't happen. But we have to get a breakout of this range. I mean, we could even create a chaos level off this range. And if we broke out to the upside, we have our estimated target. So this is kind of the high of the range. This is the average low of the range. And we can see the target points to 36,000. We could even say the target. If you want to be more conservative and look at as many touch points as possible on the range, you would get to around 35. If you want to be a little bit less conservative, you would get to around 36. Hello, Michael. Constantine, you're welcome. And Luke, you're also welcome. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing with Bitcoin. I don't see why this can't continue higher, but there are some warning signs. And if this is really a 5-wave pattern, there's no reason we wouldn't stop here and kind of oscillate in this zone, possibly pull back, run stops down at 2,400, that kind of stuff. Again, this is major speculation. For now, these moving averages point to the price moving higher. This is all bullish for me right now. You can see we're at 30,800. How far into this are we? Let's see. Let me update. Okay, I'm 26 minutes in. Yeah, so guys, we're starting to run out of time. and I'm gonna have to move to the after party. And in the after party, as everybody knows, we go over all of your requests. So anything you want to talk about, anything you want to look at, I will take a look and talk about it. Also, as a reminder, I think I showed this before, but I'm going to show it again. The breadth performance. I want to show you guys this. This is crazy. Let me see. Breadth data. Breadth data. You guys have to see this. So crazy. It's really crazy. I can't wait for the next signal to come in. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys this one. This is the raw breadth data. But I think you're more interested. This is in the S&P, but I think you're more interested in probably in Bitcoin, right? Seems like a lot of people are really interested in Bitcoin. So I'll just show it really quickly. I haven't even updated it with the most recent signals. But if I go down here, Bitcoin, we've got a couple trading plans that we're running. These are back-tested, paper-traded plans. And we've got a 10K compounding, a cumulative 10K, and a 2X margin. We had a 3X margin, but using the fees on Kraken, you can see my fee calculations over here. Using the fees on Kraken, the 3X was actually not profitable because of how long we held positions. The fees would eat away at the position. So this is something to keep in mind, that when you are trading using margin and you've got 8-hour reoccurring perpetual swap fees, it can really, really eat through your capital. So you've got to be careful and consider, is it really worth it to use this high margin if I'm holding the trade for a while? If it's just for 3 or 4 hours, it's probably fine. But more than that, it's going to hurt. So that's why we had to stick with 2X or lower. So these two, 10K on spot and 2X margin, were both cumulative, meaning we reinvested the original amount plus all the profits every time. This one, we started with 10K and we only reinvested 10K each time. And you can see we started in December 26, 2021. Yeah, actual auditable trade log is up 60% since December from Brian. This is based on all of the breadth data we have, but this is not actual 100% trading. This is looking back because this is quite a while ago. But we do have the data from the signals going back to December 26, 2021. So if we go to today, which is the data I have up till now, which is 6/21, we actually have one more signal. I need to update this. But even without updating that one other signal, you've got on the 10K where let's say you even have just 1,000, you reinvested it every time, just the 1,000, and took the rest of the money out, you would be up 334% on your original investment. And if you did 1X compounding and you just reinvested the whole thing, you would be at 785% return, which is just, it's mind-blowing to me personally. It really is. And the final one, the 2X, which makes everybody excited, is you would be up 2,575% if you just used 2X margin and reinvested your profits. And you can see all the trades here, and how it really took off recently. We went from, there's just these big spikes. You can see how price kind of sits there and does nothing for a while. You can see we even went back to almost 10,000 at one point. And we just sat in this zone until we had these big jumps. And that's just a function of how markets work, where nothing will happen for a while. Your balance will just sit like this, and you'll maybe go like this if you have a good trading plan. And then when the market really moves, your balance goes like that. And then you go back to doing this, and you just sit there, and then you have a big jump, and then you sit there. It's simply a function of markets. And you can see how we sat here for a while and then had a big jump, 24,000. We sat in this 20,000 area. Then we went from 24 to 37. Yeah, Michael, it's all automated. I mean, this is not something we officially traded. This is when the signals we were getting signals, and this is the data we have. But now we are auto trading it and manually trading it. So we're building that audible data where there's actual trade logs. This is a back-tested one where we weren't fully trading it at the time, but the signals are the same as they were, the same now as they were before in this backtest, and nothing changed. So you see we had the big jump to 37, and then we sat in this 30K area for a while, just sitting, and then we had the big jump again, just, you know, jumping between 30 and 35, and then huge jump to 45, and then a pullback to 36, and then we jumped back up to 40, before finally we went to the 60,000 area, sat in here, and then we had a huge jump to 120. Right? So you see the big moves, you see how the market works. You just oscillate in that area, pull back, and then big jump again, 150. Sat in that area, big jump to 180, sat in this area, and then we had our huge jump recently to 257. So I just thought I'd go over this and show this to show you that your portfolio is not going to go straight up. It just doesn't happen. Generally, you will oscillate, have a big jump, oscillate, have another big jump. So don't get frustrated if you feel like, oh, I'm not making enough money. Oh, I suck as a trader, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just a function of the market and of trading. You can't always be profitable. Usually it's just a handful of trading days that make you the most money. You just don't know when those trading days are. And it's not because of your amazing trading. It's because those are the days when the market moves the most and allows you to make that money. Okay, just thought I'd share that really quickly. We're going to go to the after party now. I'm going to get a drink of water so I can talk more. And in the after party, I'm going to answer any and all questions that you guys have. Okay. Thank you, anybody that's not a member. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And I will see you in the after party. If not, I'll see you next week. Same place, same time.